Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Addict-to-Athlete Podcast. My name is Alan Deal Jr., and I'll be your host. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I am super ready for the new week, man. It's been a rough week this week. You know, I know most of you know my collision my other job that I have full time is I'm a collision estimator, and everywhere in Kerrville got smashed with baseball sized hail. So it's just been a real stressful week at work. It's been, nonstop. Every customer wants to get their car fixed, and right now, and we got like 500 claims. It's been a nightmare. And that's what I wanted to talk today about, was kind of, consistency in your fitness journey. It's something a lot of people struggle with, and because I was so busy this week, the time management was really difficult, and I was tired. I didn't feel like wanting to go to the gym at all, and when I did get to the gym, I didn't feel like doing anything. So I wanted to, and I had this topic picked out long before this week even happened. So God has a funny way of, like, hey man, you need to get there, because you're fixing to talk about it. So but the weekend did end on a good note. I got to see my daughter this weekend, and she came up, and that also was planned months ago. And it was almost like, God just gave me a second to reset, refocus, and restart myself. And it was an awesome weekend to be with her, man. We got to go to Urban Air today in San Antonio. I got to take her shopping again for the second week in a row. And Elena, you better keep them grades up, girl. All right. Cause we're going to not do that no more if your grades start falling. So keep doing hard, keep trying hard in school, and you'll get rewarded for it, sweetheart. But I had such a good time, and it was just a way for that. God put that in my time, the timing, just so that I was able to refocus and just kind of like reset myself. And hey, this is why I'm here. This is what it's all about, being able to be present for my daughter, who's, it's something that I've never been able to do on a consistent basis. And there's that word again, consistent. And that's what it's all about, not just in my sobriety, but in my time management, in my diet, in my training. Like, I have to be consistent. I have to have the time management and the schedule around it. I would say one of the most difficult things, for most people, in struggling with consistency, would be that they they try to set unrealistic expectations. Okay. Or maybe not try to, but they do. And when those expectations don't happen, and they don't, they get upset, or they feel like they failed, and they just give up. I mean, first of all, we're human, and we're going to make mistakes. And guys, changing your lifestyle, it's a change of lifestyle. Okay. So not just hey, I want to start working out, I want to feel better, I want to do this. It's not, it's a lifestyle change, and it really is. It's whether it's when I changed my lifestyle to be sober, that's also a change in lifestyle. I have to change the people I hang around with. I have to change the way I think about things. I have to, it's a complete lifestyle change. And I know, I would probably say that the best thing for it would be to start small, like have small goals. And when you meet that small goal, it makes you feel like you've succeeded, and then go to the next goal. And so I think, like, for instance, if you say, I'm going to run 50 miles this week, instead of saying 50 miles, just say, hey, I'm going to run 5, or I'm going to run 2, you know, um, or I'm going to run 20 minutes a day, and start out like 5 minutes a day. Don't try to take on too much right away, because like I said, it is a change in lifestyle. And I think one of the things that I struggle with is well, first of all, you got to pick a schedule that works for you, right? Whether you got a family, you got kids, you got to find some kind of timing on the schedule, right? You got to for instance, I have a 7:30 to 5:30 job. Okay. And not only do I have that, but I have to write this list out. All right. So I have this set of goals that I'm going to do for the week. Right. One of them is I want to attend four meetings a week as well. So not only do I work, but that's 4 hours of my week is going to meetings in a 12-step program, so that I can stay connected in my recovery. And so that has to be on my list too. So not only do I have, my goals, okay, I want to go to the gym 5 days this week. I want to hit my calorie intake. I want to hit my protein intake every day. I gotta have a schedule lined out, and I have to meet that schedule. And that's one of the keys. And also, guys, you can make comments if you got questions, or if you're struggling with something, make a comment. I'd love to talk to you about it. I know one thing that really helps me with the tracking of my diet and things like that is the app I use. I use the First Form app, and we'll talk about that in a little while. I'll put the links up and everything. But on the First Form app, if you're not used to it basically asks you, and there's a lot of fitness apps out there. I mean, everybody knows that, but here's the First Form app, right? And it starts at $9.99 a month. And basically, with a standard membership, it'll track your macros, give you a fitness program. And when I say track macros, I mean like it'll ask you when you set up the app, it'll say, what's your goals here? Okay. How much do you weigh? What's your height? What's your goal weight? What are you trying to do? You trying to lose fat? You trying to gain muscle? And what I love about the First Form app is it's not unrealistic. Okay. It's going to tell you what you need to intake on calories, carbohydrates, fat, and protein per day to achieve that goal in 8 weeks. And I haven't met one. I've taken a lot of people through this app. Okay. A lot of people. And I have yet to meet one person that hasn't been satisfied with their results. Okay. And it's not, and the app just kind of is there to help you maintain a balance. Okay. And maintain a structure, which is something that we all struggle with when it goes to when it comes to, trying to stay in shape and fitness and all that. I did add the links for the app and up on the page, but also, like, for instance, if you go get a TV dinner, and I like, sometimes I'm on the go, right? Like I do try to, and it'll have prepping stuff on there too. Like meal prepping ideas. But sometimes like I'm on the go and I'm busy and I eat like 6 to 8 times a day. Okay. And some of them aren't big meals. They're just like small little meals or whatever. But I like to do the Lean Cuisine protein pizza. It's like 23 grams of protein, 290 calories. And so like if I were to eat that, right, the app has a barcode scanner. I just scan that and boom, it puts all the macros in the app for me. The next time I eat, say I do a 6-ounce or 8-ounce baked chicken or grilled chicken with some salad, I just scan the barcode on the salad, and then I put how many ounces of baked chicken I'm eating, and it throws it in there for me. In the morning, if I'm eating like hard-boiled eggs, I put how many hard-boiled eggs, and boom, it throws it in there for me. Anytime, and I don't drink sodas. That's another thing a lot of people have a problem with. I don't like the sugar, that how much sugar it is. I try to stay away from sugar for my dad. He he's the first person in my family that's not a diabetic. My dad's 75 years old. He was an athlete too, and a state trooper. He ran all the time. But his parents, my grandparents, their parents, my uncles, my cousins, they all had diabetes. And my dad said, I'm breaking the cycle, and he did. He was he's one of the first ones in the family that never got diabetes. So I saw my grandpa struggle with it, and my grandma really struggle with it. And I always told myself I was gonna eat healthy like my dad. And so I believe my dad kind of instilled that in me. But the app will help you. And I think a lot of people, they don't even realize what they're intaking per day. Okay. And I mean, how much fat, how much protein, how many carbs. I don't think a lot of people know how much they do. And so when I first joined the app, I was like, man, okay, I'm way off here, you know? Um, and so it was just a really good thing for me to help me get started. Heck, I'm so used to what I intake now. I don't really scan the barcodes anymore because I kind of know already what I'm eating, right? Like, and how much I eat per day. And if I add this, you know, to my deal. So that's kind of how I do it, right? But like as far as you know, getting yourself into the gym, okay, that's a big deal for a lot of people. And I would say if you have trouble, I talked to a good friend this weekend, man. We went and ate lunch together, and I'm super proud of this guy, right? He had some confidence issues. He's probably listening right now, so I won't mention his name, but he used to have some confidence issues, right? He didn't like the way he looked, and he sees me going to the gym. He was my roommate for a long time, and he would see me always going out, working out, eating right, and I always tried to help him. But his problem, and he told me this weekend, you know, his problem was he didn't want to be seen at the gym. You know, he just felt like he didn't look like he deserved to be there. You know, and this guy, let me tell you, I he's like a whole new person right now. His confidence level is up. He looks like a different person. He carries himself like a different person. And I asked him, I said, how did you do it, man? Okay. I know how I did it, but how did you do it? Right. And he said to me, you know, I started small, man. I I said, I'm gonna set a goal, and my goal is gonna be I'm gonna open the door to the gym. So basically he's trying to tell me getting to the gym was his problem, right? So he starts there. He's just, I'm gonna just open the door to the gym today. I'm not saying I'm even gonna work out a full workout. I just want to open the door. I want to get there. And that's how he started, man. And I'm super proud of him. He's one of my best friends. And it was just really good to see him smile and have that confidence that he's never had before. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are the same way. They're just they're not comfortable with it. Look, I know exactly where these people are coming from because I went into prison, okay, probably in the best shape of my life, like ever, just shredded, and and I couldn't stay fit in there. I mean, I did burpees, I did all this stuff, and like, and I saw. And look, it doesn't happen overnight, but I feel like I lost muscle every day in there. And of course, you know, I was ashamed of myself when I got out. In fact, when I got out on December 23rd, I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. And because of that, I did not take a photo at all. Like I wish I would have taken a before photo but my problem was it wasn't that I didn't feel like I was going to get to that point. It wasn't that at all. It was because I knew I was going to bounce back, and I knew how much time it was going to bounce back. I knew that wasn't going to be the issue. Okay. It was, I just didn't want to look at myself. And everybody, when I came back, everybody knows me a certain way. And I'm not that way right now, you know, or it wasn't then, you know, when I got out. And so it was a struggle for me to even like step foot in the gym. So and this is just 3.5 months ago, you know, and like I said, I knew in my head that it wasn't going to take me long to bounce back. I got that. Now that I can eat right, now that I got all I got a gym and actually weights, and like I can do things. So I've been there, guys. I've struggled with my body my whole life, right? Like I don't know, maybe that's why I'm so hard on my body, because I've had this like mental disorder, I think, you know, where and I feel like I pick out the bad things on me instead of the good things, right? And all, you know, a lot of people always like, well, yeah, you are, you know, you take all these photos and you like you post them online and you're all about yourself. And it's like, you know what? I work hard. to get that way. Okay. And I don't see that when I look in the mirror. I do see it on a picture sometimes. When I see a picture after I've taken it, I'm like, man, I do look pretty good on that picture, and it makes me feel like, you know what, I worked hard for this, and I eat right, I do all this, so I don't care what other people think. I just care that I know that I set a goal and that I achieved it, right? And I'm happy about that, and I'm proud of myself for it. Now it's time to move on to the next goal. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with my fitness journey. I've achieved everything that I wanted to achieve in all the goals that I wanted to set in the first 3 months I got out. I achieved every single one of them. Now I'm going to the next level and I'm stepping it up. I'm not trying to look too far ahead. Something today. This is why I said it was good for my daughter to be with me this weekend. I was sitting there reflecting and I thought to myself, I think that a lot of times people future trip so bad, they don't realize that what they have prayed for, what they have asked God for is sitting right in front of them. And it causes people to, you start looking too far ahead and you start stressing and you start man, what about today, right? My daughter was with me today. I'm healthy, I'm alive, I'm free, I'm not in prison. And, just 4 months ago, I didn't even know I was getting out, and I was asking God all these things. I was dreaming of being free, and I'm free right now, and I'm healthy again. I'm living the life God wants me to live, and it's right in front of me, and so I don't want to look too far ahead, right? When I set my goals, I'm just gonna I still try to achieve them small. And I think that's why a lot of people, when they ask me, man, yeah, okay. So I had somebody tell me one time, man, God really loves you, man, because God loves everybody, man. But he was trying to tell me, like, this doesn't happen to him when he comes back. When he messes up and he comes back, things don't go this way for him. And every time I come back, it seems to go a lot easier for me than it does for other people. Look, it's not because God loves me more, okay? It's because of the way that my mentality is and the way that I structure my goal setting, okay? I know I can come back. That's not the issue. It's a matter of how fast I can do it, okay? With God by my side. And sometimes I have come back and God wasn't on my side. Like, he was there. He was standing right behind me and he's like, "Hey man, I'm waiting for you to turn around and just be like, let's go together." But sometimes I did it on my own and I still came back fast, but I lost it, and I lost it just like I did every other time. And fitness is the same way, man. Like, it's just how your mentality is and how you structure your goals. And so start small, like, say, I'm gonna do this week, and it's gonna be something small, and then achieve it, and you're gonna feel good about that. And then go to the next goal. Okay. If your goal is, if you haven't been to the gym in months or years or whatever, okay, tell yourself, I'm gonna go one time a week right now. Just one time a week. It's better than going no times a week, Or if you drink too many sodas, or you drink too much beer, or you drink too much liquor, try to tell yourself, all right, look, instead of having a six pack today, I'm gonna have three. Just don't, like, oh, I'm quitting drinking right now. I'm stopping right away. Or, I've said that before too. Trust me, because I knew I was going to die if I didn't. It's a little bit different. I was an alcoholic, but I'm saying sodas are really bad for you. I know some people that a couple of my roommates, they drink like Ada's over here holding up her soda. No, look, it's okay to have a soda every once in a while. I still do every once in a while, but my daughter had 3 Dr. Peppers today before it was even 3 o'clock. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And I'm like, don't make this a habit, right? Like, I mean, that's a lot of sugar and it's not good for your body. Okay. Like, when you have that much soda. So just start smaller, try to say, I'm going to tone it down a little bit this week. I'm going to do this amount per day. And I promise you're going to start feeling better, and you're going to start sleeping better too. Okay. There's a lot comes with the diet. I could work out all day. Like after I get off, I could work out all day and or all night, stick to my training regimen. But if I'm not eating right, I'm not going to get the results that I want to achieve. And and the diet is consistency is key. Okay. Diet is also key, but try one thing at a time. Okay. Don't start too big and start, I'm going to change all this, because it's going to be hard. Okay. Especially if you have a family and you're trying and they cook for you every night, stuff like that. Okay. Just if you eat fast food, try to cut out the fast food. Okay. Be like, I'm going to not eat at Whataburger this week, when you probably eat there 3-4 times a day, or a week. Just say, I'm not going to do it, and try to set something like that small. And like I said, you will see setting realistic and achievable goals is going to help you. Also, I like to call it SMART goals. Okay. And that's like specific as an S, measurable is the M, achievable is the A, relevant is the R, and time bound, okay, is the T. And if you can like set your goals associated with that, align those goals with your lifestyle and priorities, okay? Like, I had to change lifestyle, my priorities in my lifestyle, with my new job that started a little over a month ago. Now I have to, I have to go to work full time instead of just going to the gym all day or whatever. And so it's a little different, and it was a change, and I had to still go to my meetings, still spend my time with God, still be able to do the things that I enjoy doing. And that's another thing, guys. Like, if you're struggling with the fitness thing, maybe try to pick a hobby. Something like riding a bike or going on a walk, like a nature walk. Something that you can enjoy. Put your headphones on, spend some time with God, listen to a podcast that you like to listen to while you're doing these things, right? It'll help. It'll help your body and your brain like get back into it. Also, one thing that I feel like, you know, back so I like to take a lot. I used to be an advisor for First Form, okay, where if you were to sign up for the $9.99 a month, all right, and you could put my email address in there, and I would be like your personal advisor, okay, where I would help you if you had questions and things like that. Like, obviously, if you're listening to the show, you follow me in some form on social media, okay? What I will do for you if you join the app for $9.99 a month is I will be your personal advisor. You don't have to buy one, okay? To purchase the advisor on the app, it's like $29 a month. I'll help you, okay? If you need some help and some advice and things, just download the app for $9.99, and you just put my email address in there. If you use the link I gave you, I think it will already tell me when you do it, but yeah, there's the link right there. But if you want help, okay, I would look. I'm so confident that you would enjoy, or that you would get the results that you're looking for if you stick with the regimen and do what the app says and do what I say. I would even be willing to pay your first month for $9.99. Okay, that's how I want to help people right now. That's how bad I know this works, and that's how bad. If that's what it takes to get you kickstarted, I'll help you out. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. And the next thing also is supplements, man. Like, I've taken all of them out there. I can help you with the supplements too. I'm going to put a link. Obviously, the link is firstform.com/Alan Deal Jr. Anything that you need, that you think that I think, if you tell me your goals, right? And I'm going to tell you what I think you should take. I've taken it all. Okay. Part of me being a first form, representative is I try all the products, man. Like, I mean, I've done them all, and they're the best products in the world, bar none. Okay. And that's why I chose to be with First Form, and that's why I'm very blessed to be a part of the First Form family. Is the products are just so good compared to anyone else. I mean, they spend so much money on research and development, and it's just one of the best companies I've ever been associated with when it comes to the fitness industry. And the app is it's just getting better every single year. I mean, I went to prison for a year and 3 months. I come back and the app is just it's bar none the best app out there for fitness, in my opinion. And I've done a lot. So when it comes to needing suggestions, hit me up on any of my social media links, message me, DM me. I don't care. If you have questions, you have a family member that's struggling, that you feel like, one of my dearest friends out there, I'm fixing to help her son, and I can't wait, man. I'm so excited about it. He's a football player, and he's fixing to play college football, and I'm gonna help him, man. And I want to do this because that's what God put me here for, is to to help others. That's what my purpose is now. And when I'm helping others, it takes me away from myself. All right. And that's what it's all about, man, is spreading God's love and joy, and his wisdom and his word, and that you can come back from anything, and any obstacle that you try to achieve. So you can do that with God. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's no lie. That's how I bounce back every single time. And now with the consistency we're talking about in this show, it doesn't have to just be about fitness, or it's just consistency in my relationship with God as well. Okay. Because if I don't have that relationship with God, I don't have anything else. Okay. Or in my honest opinion, anything I've ever put in front of God, I've lost. And I may not have lost it right away, but I eventually did. And like I said, I can't let all the outside stuff define me. I'm not doing the podcast for the money, man. I make enough money with what I do in my regular job. I'm doing this because I want people to bounce back. I want them to know that with God, there is no reason that you can't come back from anything or defeat anything. I had an eating disorder. I had a bad one for years. I would throw up my food. I felt like I was fat. I would throw up my food. It was a horrible, horrible time in my life. Um, and and and, and God helped me defeat that. I don't have that struggle anymore. If I have a cheat meal and I eat bad or whatever, I don't feel bad now where I got to go in the bathroom and throw up my food. But even when I was fit, sometimes I would do that because I was struggling. The enemy would come at me with all these obstacles that I'd have to I felt like there was one obstacle after another and I could never catch up quite enough. But God helped me overcome that. He helped me overcome my addiction to drugs and alcohol, which that's in itself is a miracle. I thought about that every single day. And I was struggling this week I was so tired. You can kind of see the bags under my eyes still. I'm gonna try to get some rest tonight, and then urban air tired me out today with my daughter, but it was fun. It was totally worth it. But the whole time I was wanting to go to the gym, I didn't want to go. I was tired. I had every excuse in the book not to go this week. And I made myself go. I said, you know what? I'm going to feel better as soon as I'm done. And, I walked out the door. I was still tired at the gym, but I felt like I achieved something. Even something small like that. I go every day and I still felt like that because I knew that I could say, I'm not going to do. I could easily have said, man, I need to get some rest tonight and I'm not going to do it, you know? And I went anyway. And that's what it's all about, man. Like, that's what sets you apart, right? That's when somebody else would say, you know, it's just like when sometimes I don't feel like going to meetings, man. I feel like I'm not struggling with a mental obsession to use drugs and alcohol. So I'm like, man, you know, I'm so busy. I'd rather be at the gym right now. That's my mental escape, you know. That's exactly when, and then when I do go, I hear something I need to hear. Like, or it was like God was like, "Hey, look, you got to stay focused here, okay? Because without your sobriety, you're not you can't be 100% with me. Okay? You can't do my work to the best of your ability if you're out there using drugs and alcohol. And so I have to have my priorities straight. And fitness helps me align with that. Okay. My fitness journey, my diet, people are always like, oh, that's all you care about and all this, you know. No, you know, that helps me stay focused and it helps me stay sober. And I just have to keep God number one. And that's the bottom line. So anyway, guys, it was great to be with y'all tonight. I'm gonna cut it at 30 minutes or around there just because you know, it's been a long week. I'm gonna go get some rest. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the night. I love being on here with you guys and talking some fitness tonight. Like I said, if you're struggling, celebrate the small wins. Okay, just try something small. Celebrate the small wins. You know, and if you need some support, I got you, man. Like, just let me know. Hit me up on any of my social media links. And I got you, you know. But it's good to see everybody that showed up on Instagram tonight. Thank you, everybody, for all your support on Facebook and YouTube. I just it was great being with y'all, and I hope y'all learned something tonight. And like I said, let me know if there's anything you need. Also, thank you, Rick. Shout out to my barber for getting me fresh this weekend. Really appreciate that. Ada, I love you, girl. You're family to us now, and appreciate you allowing us to use the studio to help other people because that's what it's all about. And without you and God putting you in my life, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, and all these opportunities wouldn't be happening for the show. So, just wanted to let you know that we love you. And hey, guys, remember, think about the things you do have, all right, and not the things you don't. And thank God for the things that you do. All right. It's Alan Deal Jr. signing out from Kerrville, Texas. Love you guys. See you next week.